Hello, I'm Austin Scarlett. Greetings from Greenwich Village. Ever since I was a little boy, Christmas has always been a time to celebrate all things imaginary and beautiful. A time when everyone, young and old, can become a child again and journey into Wonderland. Telling tales, collecting ornaments, and performing pageants are some of the ways my family and I enjoy upholding the traditions of the season. This holiday, I'd like to take this opportunity to share with you one of my very favorite Christmas stories, my version of Beatrix Potter's The Tailor of Gloucester, and to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. In the time of swords and periwigs, and full-skirted coats with flowered lappets, when gentlemen wore ruffles, and gold-laced waistcoats of paduasoy and taffety, there lived a tailor in Gloucester. He sat in the window of a little shop in Westgate Street, cross-legged on a table, from morning till dark. But although he sewed fine silk for his neighbours, he himself was very, very poor. He cut his coats without waste, according to his embroidered cloth. There were very small ends and snippets that lay about upon the table. The tailor worked, and he talked to himself.
No breadth at all, and cut on the cross, too narrow for naught, saving tippets for mice, and ribbons for mobs for mice.
For behind the wooden wainscots of all the old houses in Gloucester, there are little mouse staircases and secret trap-doors, and the mice run from house to house through those long, narrow passages.
Oh, how wonderful! These snippets the tailor left are more than sufficient to make me a new frock and petticoat. Oh, indeed! We could fetch it in the train a la polonaise. That would be quite fetching, don't you agree?
Personally, I'd think you look cuter in culottes, with little buttons down the back.
Oh, you're incorrigible.
One bitter cold day, near Christmas time, the tailor began to make a coat of cherry-colored corded silk, embroidered with pansies and roses, and a cream-colored satin waistcoat trimmed with galls and green worsted chenille. These were ordered by the Mayor of Gloucester for his wedding, which was to be Christmas Day at noon. When the snowflakes came down against the small leaded window panes and shut out the light, the tailor had done his day's work. All the silk and satin lay cut out upon the table.
Oh, what a handsome coat this will be when the tailor is done. Oh, yes. Look, there are 12 pieces for the coat and 4 pieces for the waistcoat, and pocket flaps and cuffs, and 21 buttons, all in order.
Look, yellow taffeta for the lining, and for the buttonholes, shaded silk twist. Everything is ready for the tailor to sew together in the morning.
The next day, however, the poor old tailor took very ill with a fever, tossing and turning in his four-post bed.
Whatever has become of the tailor? He has not been to the shop for days. Good heavens! He must be gravely ill, or the tailor would certainly be here.
Yes, and what's to become of the mayor's coat? Tonight is Christmas Eve.
The man is to be married tomorrow at noon, and everything is still in cut pieces. We simply must help the tailor and finish the coat and waistcoat tonight.
And from the tailor's shop in Westgate came a glow of light, and the window was full of candles.
There was a snippeting of scissors and a snappeting of thread, and the little mouse voices sang loudly and gaily.
Three
Little mice sat down to spin. Pussy passed by and she peeped in. What are you at, my fine little men? Making coats for gentlemen. Shall I come in and cut off your threads? Oh no, Miss Pussy, you'd bite off our heads.
I've always wanted to... Okay. Hey, little dinky poppety pet. The merchants of London, they're well, Scarlett. Silk in the collar and gold in the hem. So merrily march the merchant men.
Why must everything always be scarlet? The silk is obviously fuchsia.
By my whiskers, it's scarlet.
It's fuchsia.
Scarlet.
Fuchsia.
Scarlet.
It's fuchsia.
Scarlet.
Fuchsia.
Gentlemen, you're both wrong. The color is cerise, exactly what the mayor ordered.
How are the embroidered pansies and rosebuds coming along, my dear?
Well, I'm afraid we are nearly out of twist. And these tambour stitches are taking forever.
Well, maybe if you didn't spend 3 hours powdering your wig before we began, we wouldn't have to work so late.
How dare you! Don't hate me because I'm beautiful, darling. Oh, whatever shall we do? If we don't finish everything tonight, the tailors will be ruined.
And you know what that means. No more fancy silks and laces for my lady's mops and tippets.
Look, that mouse is taking a cat nap. That varmint, wake up, you rat. It's no use. Well, never you mind, darling. Just keep on stitching.
And the mice sewed into the night. When the tailor entered his shop, the boards were swept and clean. The little threads and silk snippets were all tidied away and gone from the floor. But upon the table, oh, joy! The tailor gave a shout. There, where he had left plain cuttings of silk, there lay the most beautiful coat and embroidered satin waistcoat that were ever worn by a Tailor of Gloucester. Everything was finished except just one single cherry-coloured buttonhole, and when that buttonhole was wanting, there was pinned a scrap of paper with these words in little teeny-weeny writing.
No more twist.
And from then began the luck of the Tailor of Gloucester. He grew quite stout, and he grew quite rich. Never was seen such ruffles, or such embroidered cuffs and lappets. The stitches were so neat, people wondered how they could be stitched by an old man in spectacles, with crooked old fingers and a tailor's thimble. So small, they looked as if they had been made by little mice.